Hello again, nerds! We are doing another reaction video. This time we are reacting to Mushroomhead's Seen It All video and song, actually, because this is the new single, the first single, I guess, off of their new record that is set to come out June 19th. Before we get into all of the other awesomeness, let's do the intro thing. Yes, I kind of am revealing my hand a little bit. I'm showing it off by saying all of the other awesomeness because I like Mushroomhead. I have been able to sit down. Hopefully, when I publish this video, I'll be able to put it up on the. I think it'll be on this side actually. I got to interview their keyboard player, sampler. The dude. I got to interview Stitch a couple years ago. I was supposed to get to interview him last time they came through on tour as well, but we were in the middle of a blizzard, and it just couldn't happen, unfortunately. But it will happen again. He said he really wants to. Well, I guess not in those words. Said that he is totally down, were his exact words, to do it again. So I am going to hopefully be able to keep him to that. So let's get into some pre-stuff about this song and actually this record. So when I interviewed Stitch, again, that was about 2 years ago, they were in the middle of a transition period because Jeffrey Nothing, who was one of the vocalists, had just left. Tommy Church, who was one of the guitar players, also had just left. So they were essentially down to 6 actual members of the band, 6 people who exist on records and were also playing live all at the same time. Steve Rauckhorst, who is their new vocalist that stepped in for Jeffrey Nothing, hadn't officially recorded any music with them that they had released yet. They had released some teaser things with him on it, but no actual tracks. This is the first official music released with Steve Rauckhorst on vocals. However, he was technically part of the band. So, at the time, like I said, they were looking at about 6 actual members, and everybody else was kind of a hired hand, including she's going by Miss Jackie now, who is, I believe, Skinny, the drummer, the Skinny's wife, Dave Felton. Sorry, brain fart. So now they have officially landed a secondary percussionist, a guy named Robbie Godsey, according to their Wikipedia page. Roberto Diablo is what he goes by, is his stage name. And they officially, like I said, Steve Rauckhorst, who goes by Mr. Rauckhorst now. The guitar player who was also there when I interviewed Stitch 2 years ago, Tommy Shaffner, he is now being listed on the liner notes for the record as well. And then, like I said, also Miss Jackie LaPanza is now officially a member of the band, the newest member of the band. Yeah, so that's kind of really rough and really brief on kind of who they are. If you're unfamiliar with the style, it's a complete amalgamation of a bunch of different things. There's definitely some electronic elements. There's some hip-hop elements. Traditionally, this is not necessarily that all of these elements are always in every song, or even that these are even elements that represent on every album, but in most of their albums they have hip-hop elements, electronic elements. Obviously they're a metal band. There are some industrial elements, some thrash elements. These are the things that they have used as influences and their puzzle pieces to make this really big picture that they create all the time, and it's really something that I dig a lot. That being said, I have read a couple of reviews, kind of spoiled the song a little bit for me. Obviously, I haven't listened to the song because we're doing the reaction video right now. So it sounds like they're kind of leaning a little bit harder into the more radio-friendly elements of their sound for at least this single. One of the reviews I read was for the whole album, and it said that the rest of the album, while good, while good at what it does, is by and large all leaning into the more radio-friendly elements of their sound. So take with that what you will. That we'll see. They're on Napalm Records now, so I don't feel like there's a push from the label to do a radio-friendly album. So I don't know. It might just be, the music elite, the types, the gatekeeper types that are saying this. So we'll see. I am, again, prefacing this, I am a fan, so I'm probably going to like the song. I'm just saying that right now. Before we get into the song, though, disclaimer, this is a reaction and analysis video. I'm not just going to press play and go, oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. We're going to stop the song. We're going to talk about the song. We're going to analyze production. We're going to analyze performance. We're going to dissect this a lot. So if you want to listen to the original song, go listen to the original song. You want to watch the original video, go watch the original video. That's not what we're here to do. That being said, let's do the... where'd my mouse go? We're doing the transition into the thing, and then we're going to push the button. Also excited to see Rauckhorst's mask, not going to lie. Kind of excited about that. Already liking his vocals more than Jeffrey's. I said this in the interview with Stitch. Like, I love Jeffrey Nothing, but I think Rauckhorst has better control and is a more talented singer. Though I can see... All right, so before we get into J-Man's part, which love the new mask, J-Man. So let's take a look at Rauckhorst's little vocal piece right here. So the thing that set Jeffrey Nothing's vocal style apart was it was very Faith No More-esque in that while he didn't get there, I feel like in a healthy way, usually, he was still really pushing the higher elements of his voice. He was really, part of me wants to say shrill at times, but either way, it made him stick out in the mix, and it also gave them a sound that was really hard for others to replicate, and so they didn't fall into the middle of the pile with everybody else, because Nothing's vocal, if nothing else, no pun intended, if nothing else, just that vocal delivery sat up on top. So when I heard Rauckhorst's version of Jeffrey Nothing's songs, I was like, yeah, this dude can do that, only he has control. So now that we're to the point where he's writing his own material for the band, we don't see him taking advantage of that unique sound that kind of is one of the key elements that set apart Mushroomhead. That's pretty safe vocal right there. Like, you can hear it a little bit right there. Did you hear that? Wonderful, that wonder. Even all right, so that was an opportunity to really push the scene it all. He did that in such a safe way. Like, I'm kind of hoping the rest of the song gets better. Not gonna lie. I like that. I like that layering a lot, actually. There we go. There we go. But it was really brief. Honestly, if he were to take the notes that he's singing and go up a third, just that one small step, if he would just every note, if he could take it up a third in the chord that he's singing over the top of, if he could go up 1/3, which in music speak is the 2 notes technically above where he's singing. So if he's singing on the 1, you go up over the 2 into the 3, and that I feel like would make that vocal delivery much more interesting, and also wouldn't really take him out of his register, would just be a better... I do like the new masks. Also, J-Man is not as like the first time through his section. Sure, I dug it, but then I expected it to get bigger and expand the next time we got to his section, and it's just a repeat of the last time we heard him. So therefore becomes repetitive and leaves something to be desired. This. And then it goes back down into the safe zone. Come on, man. I like how his mask is like a broken... the mouth is broken open. That's cool. I like that. I like that because he's not in. He doesn't have the same register as Jeffrey Nothing. He can hit those notes though, so now he's in his own register, which this section would make sense to go down a little bit. And we got nothing from Jackie. There's glimmers of hope here, man, but there's just all this new music that I am expecting to just love. Like, this is good. It's not bad necessarily, but it's... Mediocrity is almost as bad, or if not worse, than doing something horrible, because at least when you do something horrible, there's something to learn from it. But if you do something mediocre, then you're sitting in the middle of the pile... And yeah, we're not going to listen to your ad. All right. So, a couple of things that are still hopeful for this. One is that this is, again, the first single, so they had to play it safe, I would imagine, so that they could get it on the radio. This is totally something that I could see on, I guess the term now is active rock, because they don't call it hard rock, because that's too edgy. Active rock is the term that they use. So I could totally see this on active rock radio. I could totally see this on what is it on XM? Liquid Nation, I think. Their active rock radio, which is borderline hard rock and metal. So yeah, this totally fits, but we're kind of watering down all of the awesome elements that have made Mushroomhead unique and great in the past, where J-Man's vocal usually is a little bit more prominent throughout the song. They do a lot more better interweaving of the vocalists in previous music. J-Man also, there's not a whole lot of his hip-hop influence in what we just heard, and that's one of the things also that sets him apart, because yeah, they came out in the middle of the nu metal kind of thing that was nu metal. So a lot of nu metal vocalists, even though like all of the critics are talking about how it's hip hop influenced, a lot of nu metal vocalists a majority of nu metal vocalists. There are a handful of exceptions to this, but a majority of nu metal vocalists didn't really rhyme. They didn't have a flow. They didn't to coin a phrase, they didn't spit verses. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't they weren't MCs. J-Man, Jason Popson, has a history of that. All like borderline more than Zach De La Rocha in Rage Against the Machine. I know Rage Against the Machine is not technically a nu metal band for reasons, but there's a comparable history to their musical experience between J-Man and Zach De La Rocha, and we don't see that here, and that's disheartening. The production is great. This is falling victim to what we say a lot when we're doing metal videos. You lose the tone in the bass, and it just becomes an extension of the guitar because he's I'm trying to Dr. F. Is that what he's calling himself? Yeah, Dr. F. Ryan Farrell. He's just playing root notes of the chords that Shaffner is playing. Excuse me. So yeah, it's as far as the performance goes, there is a lot to be desired. As far as production goes, it's kind of on par with everything, arguably a little bit better because you have the two different vocalists to deal with, as well as all the sonic room for the instruments. So I dug the production just fine. I just feel like the performance could have been much better. We didn't get anything from the third vocalist. Miss Jackie didn't show up. She was in the video for a half a second, but yeah, there was nothing great from her either. That's frustrating. I really hope the rest of, much like I said on the Protest the Hero video, I really hope the rest of this record is so much better than this, because they have done so much better than this. Even the last record, The Righteous and the Butterfly, came out in 2014, there was a lot about that record that was just awesome. And this, what left a lot to be desired. And I think that's where we're going to end this. So thank you guys for joining me. What did you think of the video? We didn't really talk about the video as much. I feel like they've done much better videos in the past as well. This one was just basically Rauckhorst and J-Man talking to the camera this close the whole time. And that seems ill thought out, and you get shots of the rest of the band from time to time, and the Tommy Shaffner in the back playing his guitar occasionally, and I think we only got like one cut to Dr. F, the bass player. So like, there was a lot to be desired with the video too. Again, I'm done. So what did you guys think? Let's have the conversation in the comments. Did you like the song? I see the potential here. I just don't see it executed very well for this particular song. So do you see that same potential? Do you not see that same potential? Do you hate Mushroomhead? Let's have that conversation. I feel like if you hate Mushroomhead, you've only heard the singles, and they have a lot more of a catalog than the singles that have hit the radio, because I think they've only had 3 songs on the radio, maybe 4. And that's because they were on Universal for a second, so Universal was pushing them on the radio. A lot of their stuff isn't radio friendly, and that's one of the things I love about this band. So let's have that conversation. I am going to do all of the usual YouTube things, so bear with me, because we've got other things. You can click on one of these 2 boxes. Like hands. I don't know what to do with my hands. You can click on one of these 2 boxes, see other stuff that's going on the channel. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, and thumbs up if you like what I'm trying to do here. There's a plenty of other things going on. GenerallyNerdy.net is the website, so you can see basically everything else except for what's on the Patreon, patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy. That is the place to go help me keep the lights on and keep all of this content coming. Thank you guys again. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.